alchemists, welcome back to more crystal sessions. Choosing the crystal that draws you visually, feeling the energy come up from your heart center, out through your eyes and into the crystal. Just sending energy that way. I'll tune into the crystal and see what's coming up. On the left we have rose quartz. In the center we have malachite. And on the right we have celestite or celestine. You can either watch the video from beginning to end or go right to the timestamp of your crystal. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so those of you that chose the rose quartz chunk, really nice piece here. Let's tune in. There we go. Right away I'm seeing pink, the color pink enveloping the aura. And I could feel the rose quartz sort of vibrating in my hand, which isn't usually my experience with rose quartz, but it's really pulsating in there. As I observe that that frequency and that vibration, it begins to slow. A message about mindfulness, a message about really tuning in to yourself, to your process, observing, lovingly witnessing your own process here. Sometimes what we do if we're experiencing something that we don't want to be a part of, like a situation we deem painful or uncomfortable, we try to avoid or push away from it. But what might be a better solution would be to mindfully observe, really tune in. There was a book I had read that presented this idea, and I can't quite remember. I think it had a butterfly on the cover. I know that's annoying to say because I used to work at a bookstore, a metaphysical bookstore, and people were like, it has a blue butterfly on the cover, and expect you to identify the book that way. I think that the I'm getting the names Ariel and Shia or something like that. Can't quite recall, but they would talk about mindfulness for pain relief and things like that. Tuning into the area that's hurting, or if you're sensing pulsation, right, that feels much like this heightened state that you might call anxiety, tuning into it. Where does it show up? Noticing if it has a color, a shape, a texture, a color. Really tuning into it mindfully. Maybe asking 1 to 10, how uncomfortable is it? Sending breath to it, right? A resourceful breath maybe, where you're inhaling peace, right? Or grace or joy or love, whatever it is. And then sending that resourceful state to that area or that sensation wherever you're feeling it. Really upping self-care here. I'm getting that you're asking to replenish you're being asked to replenish a lot because you might be getting a lot of people that really enjoy your healing energy. Lucky you. No, it's actually a great gift to have a healing presence, but it can be draining if the self-care isn't stellar, right? If the self-care isn't there, it can be really draining. So you might notice there's a lot of people that enjoy your kind of support, your special signature there, whether it just be you never really catastrophize things so it doesn't escalate their emotional situation. You're able to remain at peace and say, hey, it happens to the best of us, right? Or maybe you find the humor in things and that's medicine for them. So they find their way back to you when they're in pain. And you sort of get the worst of people and they get the best of you. And so it starts to feel unfair or like a drain. A real downer, but okay, so really resetting with a nice calcite layout, different colors of calcite if you have them, or just any clear calcite or any kind of calcite. Really is a nice reset. I learned that from one of my crystal teachers, my friend and mentor. Her name's Krista Mitchell, and she teaches how to work with crystals. In fact, I have her linked below the timestamps, her Academy for Crystals. So if you're interested in learning more of that for self-care, she has a lot of different options there to learn how to read crystals, all that stuff. I learned from her the power of a calcite layout for a reset. I also add some selenite because that helps get some physical pain as well as move stagnant energy out of the body, right? Because I'm among my empathic, what I take on empathically, among it is physical sensation, physical pain. So selenite really moves it out. I'm coming back to the pink color in the aura. Really fortifying that protective layer of the aura. And remembering to be mindful about the back of the system too. Sometimes we forget that. And it tends to go in alignment with leaving out the self-care, right? Because the front of the chakra system is sort of how we relate to the world, and the back is how we relate to self oftentimes. So make sure you're giving yourself some love and TLC and care to the back of the energy field as well. Just mindfully tuning in. You know, so much can happen with mindfulness. Just doing a practice of mindfully tuning into the entire system can help your chi flow optimally. I learned that from a grandmaster in Qigong. I took a training. We did an exercise of just tuning into each organ, each area of the body until we could really hold it all in our minds. So there might be some kind of practice like that. And then sending pink light or the color pink, right? Really rose quartz vibes there. The color pink, color of love, self-care, self-love. And I'm seeing once the mood is uplifted and there's this ability to sort of bounce back and stay into positive frequency and maintain that instead of when people come in for your amazing energy and you kind of meeting them where they're at, even slightly, you're able to maintain that frequency and then they're transmuted in the light of it, right? Instead of what we sometimes just do naturally to build rapport, right? With somebody so we can relate to them. We might just have this instinct to kind of be brought down, right? Or find somewhere in the middle to meet them. But can you maintain your frequency and just channel that instead of having to meet them? I had to learn that in customer service a lot of times. Sometimes it would catch me off guard, but when I was aware and mindful, what I could do is I could channel Reiki out of my eyes, and in this way I could still maintain my frequency and invite them to shift, right? To transform, and but still lovingly witness, right? Not dismiss them, but still be able to be a loving witness without coming down. Empathically taking on stuff. I could actually have empathy, but not go down there, right? Which is probably better medicine. So just the message with rose quartz right now is up in that self-care game, making sure you're good, stay positive, in a high frequency. That's what makes you a leader. That's why people come to you. You're able to put things into perspective and say, that sounds like a human thing. Sounds like you're a human, you know? Or instead of them feeling, you know, they come to you feeling really bad about themselves. And sounds like, wow, you know, I think we're all going through things like that, right? Or we all experience that. Or some of the most, the friendships that I've had, or the mentorships that I've had that gave me the most blessings, were the ones that just reminded me I'm a human, right? Yeah, we all go through that. It's okay. Put it into perspective for you. Or your amazing sense of humor. Ability to see the light, the comedy in the situation when appropriate, and laugh at things, and support and help people kind of laugh at their circumstances to feel better. I'm feeling really giggly with this stone, with this big chunk of rose quartz. Yeah. And the message, you are lovable, if that was in question at all. I mean, people are flocking to you. How can you question that? So you are lovable. That's what's coming in for rose quartz. Let me know in the comments if that landed, if that resonated in any way. We're being asked to up our self-care game here. Let me know if that resonated too. If you know someone that could use that message, please do share with them. Let me know if you're enjoying how these sessions are coming to be. They've gone into many transitions. I work with them how they want. It's a co-creative process, so I'm not fully in control. So just let me know if you're enjoying this and if I should keep doing this. And if you need any sessions or anything, links are in the description. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Alchemist. Hi there to those of you that chose this beautiful malachite. It's quite incredible. Let's tune in and see what's going on with my malachite people. What I'm seeing in my mind's eye is this overhead view, like a bird's eye view of it's water scene, but there's trees, green trees in a mountainous setting, right by water though, moving water, and it's almost like a drone, right? Taking some footage. And the image is coming down, landing in the water. Oh, and submerging in the water. And kind of just taking some footage in the deep. So maybe there was some detachment over some emotions that weren't really desirable. You didn't really want to go through it. You didn't want to feel it. And it might have hit you all at once, just felt really heavy, didn't know where it came from. I'm getting it's yours to explore. So sometimes it is an empathic transmission we might take on if we're an emotional empath, right? It might be someone else's heaviness. I know I've had this experience recently, but you're being encouraged to sort of explore the depth through creative expression. Sometimes we go through these heavier, darker, denser feelings and sensations. To give us contrast in life, to give us depth, empathy, compassion. I'm getting the word poetic. Maybe you have a way with expressing with words that draw people, you know, a creative way of expressing the more difficult transitions in life, the heavier times. And it can sound like poetry to somebody, giving them hope through, you know, hope throughout their experience as well. Like, oh, someone else is going through it too. I'm not alone. And maybe you are, maybe you already know you're a great writer or speaker, someone who has a way with words, language, the sequence of the words, you know, putting it together, formatting. I'm also seeing there's a great balance of air and water, and sometimes this shows up just in the way something's formatted. Like I'm seeing a book where the words are spaced really nicely, where it's so aesthetically pleasing, it's almost healing just to look at the book. There's lots of space and room on either side, right, of the writing. And the letters are really nice font that's really spacious. And I'm trying to think if I can think of a book like that. Maybe you have an idea of what that is, or you're working on something like that. If you're writing something, a memoir or poetry book or a novel, whatever it is, maybe consider that aesthetic touch that would be even more appealing or healing to look at, giving you that, you know, seeing all that space and room feels a little more free, almost like comfort, relief. Because sometimes that heaviness can feel like there's no room to breathe. And having that visual cue can be supportive. So if it's not this writing or this book format, maybe it's images surrounding you where that shows a lot of space, a spacious, scenic view, right? Like the image I was seeing in the beginning of the mountains with the trees. It was nicely spaced out as water was running through, right? It looked like some islands. Lots of green, lots of blue. Room to fly, room to dive, right? Your choice. You can fly high, you can dive deep. And maybe that says something about you, who you are, right? You can, I'm getting birds of a feather flock together. You can fly high with the birds. You can dive deep with the poets, or the sea animals, however you want to look at it. Yeah, really versatile, and maybe a great combination of air and water. Oh, because of communication. Interesting. Which is why you can put it into words. Interesting, which is why you can feel the deep emotions, but also put it into words for people to understand, describe it with such eloquence and flourish that it makes it beautiful. It really transmutes it. It transmutes the hard times and the pain into something really beautiful. Maybe this is something you're looking at doing or seeking, you know, that piece of literature or amazingly formatted book that just gives you comfort. You like to pick it up and nourish yourself by reading. Let me know if any of that resonated for you. If you feel like this message might have been for somebody else, let me know. Or share it with them, I'd rather. Yeah, I think that's it. I started to get the feeling that it wasn't complete, but I think that's it. Let me know in the comments if that resonated. Thank you for liking the video, subscribing to the channel. That's really valuable to me. If you need a session or to reach out, whatever it is, links are in the description, all right? I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Alchemist. Hi there to those of you that chose the Celestite or Celestite or Celestine, whatever you like to call it. Call it whatever you like. Let's tune in and see what messages are here with the Celestite for you. Okay, I'm seeing an image of can't quite make out what this is, but it's almost like a god or superhero or something of that nature in a space suit, but it's not a normal space suit. It's it's giving me Archangel Michael vibes because there's a sword. Like the spiritual warrior, but very angelic in the sky with the clouds. With the message, I got your back. Maybe there is a question of, am I guided here? Am I watched over? Am I protected? And there are beings and guides that are working on protecting, serving, and supporting you in spirit form. Not always easy to perceive. Yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing the claymation version of that now. Almost like a Roman soldier now, though. like the SNL skit, Mr. Bill. I don't know if you remember that. It's similar to that. I'm not sure why they're showing me that. To give it like a lighthearted feel, I guess. But it was already really kind of lovely to see that. Oh, children. Okay, so in childhood, you might have been more aware of this guide. That's why they were showing me this sort of like playing with Play-Doh kind of childlike activity, right? So as a child, maybe you were felt more connected and in tune with these guides. Maybe sometimes you were even afraid, right? Do your parents ever tell you about, how you would always talk to this imaginary friend or whatever? Oftentimes we're more sensitive in childhood to those guides and protectors. And there's part of you that probably resonates with a spiritual warrior, gone through some trials to forge strength. Because I can see that whoever's in this reading is for, or this session is for, is among these light warriors. And maybe that's part of the reason you're on this planet right now, is to bring light here. I'm trying to put words into this, but it does feel like there's this sense of battle between good and evil in a way. And I wouldn't personally characterize things that way. That's not how I see it. But that's what I'm being shown, is this battle between good and evil, or whatever, however you want to coin that, right? Pit those those sides against each other. And that you're here to fight for the light in whatever way you're doing that, by maintaining your frequency here, by accessing frequencies that people haven't accessed yet, which allows others to go there too. So maybe you're working with meditation or some kind of energy vibrational work that allows you to access frequencies and bring them here so that they're accessible to others. Tuning in, you might notice that there are healing codes in the chakra right above your head, right? Not the crown, but even above that, there are codes in there, and you can access them when you tune into them in certain states, right? In certain altered states, allowing them to come down and inform your process, for you to embody them. And it's part of your purpose. That you're a spiritual warrior. And what that really means is, to me, that means, battling not so much an enemy outside of you, but your own inner demons, right? Your own trials and struggles and overcoming. That's not something I say lightly. That means you've been through some things. You've been able to overcome and have immense strength, like that forged strength. And that deserves a lot of respect. And I am seeing like this warrior smiling in the face of a threat or danger or darkness. It's almost like I've already seen so much. Bring on the challenge. I can face it. I faced a lot of things. Like just this inner strength and developing this trust in yourself to be able to navigate and go through it. And people are really impressed, I guess, but also encouraged, and they find peace in your presence because of the strength that you forged. And that you're surrounded by supportive forces in spirit form. You're being guided and protected along the way. And maybe you see signs of that at times. And this is a confirmation for that. So let me know in the comments if that resonates for you. Yeah, the word courage is coming in. So let me know in the comments if that resonates for you. If you think it might be for someone else, please do share with them. Thanks for going on this journey with me as my work with the crystals want to transform. It's a co-creation, co-creative process. You know how it is. I don't get all the say, so I just do it. I just do as I'm guided. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you want a personal session or to reach out, all the links are in the description. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, Alchemist.